I stopped doing the fun, extra office stuff after I didn't like the way my boss handled something. Am I the asshole here? I guess background is important, and sorry it's kind of long. My job performance is exceptional. I meet every necessary mark 100% of the time, and have done so for the last 10 years. Maybe an odd month or two in there due to travel and things that would make it impossible. I've also stepped up and carried the load for coworkers when things have come up to ensure our area isn't dinged for performance issues. Clients get along with me well, I've never had a complaint filed against me, etc. You get the idea. I am also known to do all the holiday decorating, coordinating the gifts for office celebrations, baking the desserts, writing formal thank yous from our department, and making holiday baskets to help maintain positive relationships with the other agencies we work with. A couple months back, there was a policy change and none of us were happy about it. I made the best of a bad situation and adapted to the change immediately. My coworkers did as well, but they all called me to complain and vent. This is normal. We tend to complain amongst ourselves for one good bitch session, and then it just is what it is, and continue to work hard and not complain again. Here's what the issue is. While one of my coworkers was venting, my boss was eavesdropping selectively on my side of the conversation, as that's what he could hear. I was commiserating with them, but also pointing out how it wouldn't be that bad. It's in our contract, how we can make it fun slash less obnoxious, etc. You get the deal. We hung up and I didn't think about it further, especially since neither of us really said anything that you wouldn't expect an employee to say with that kind of change that they're wanting. It was pretty damn tame. I didn't think about it again until my boss called me in a few days later to do an employee evaluation in response to it. In every review I've had here, I've always hit the exceeds expectations in nearly every category. He kept me down to meets expectations on everything. He reamed me for my attitude for not cutting my coworker off and letting them vent, telling me I should have told them to call him. He accused me of being negative influence and that if he didn't nip it in the bud now, it could fester and create a toxic work environment. I was and still am pretty pissed about it. Coworkers should be allowed to vent to each other without it being treated like this. After this, as you may have guessed, I'm just not in the mood to head up everything extra I'd been doing to make the office environment fun. I keep my door closed when he's here. I didn't bring dessert for the March birthday lunch. That lunch isn't mandatory, but I didn't want more problems, so I went and just sat quietly the entire time. Now there's another appreciation week slash month for one of the departments we work with, and there's been an email chain about cards slash gifts, and I've responded the amount I'll put towards it and asked who I should send it to. People are noticing I'm not picking this stuff up, and that chain has gone in a circle for days now, and I'm not budging. I've had one person approach me about it, and I just said I don't have the time to take it on right now. I guess I'm feeling like all the shit I did on the regular to foster a positive work environment got thrown out or was never really appreciated because I lent an ear to a coworker and then got viciously reprimanded for it. Like, what's the point of 10 years of going out of my way just if it gets thrown out like that? Am I the asshole for just quietly stepping out of all these extras due to my feelings on how this was handled? Am I being overly petty? Commenter 1. Not the asshole. The boss, as the kids called it, FAFO'd. What does that mean? Let me search it up. It means fucked around and found out. Sounds about right. Alright, venting is typically a positive and necessary thing as long as it's handled appropriately, and it sounds as if you were that appropriate bottleneck and surrounding board. He was extremely stupid to have not allowed you to explain the situation to him. Stand your ground, just keep it light, sweet, and my workload is preventing me from keeping up with those extra tasks about it all. OP, thank you. I did try to explain it to him when he was marking me down. The real irony is he was sitting there calling me a potential negative toxic presence that was going to ruin team morale the day after I had just handed out handmade valentines to my other teammates. Commenter 2. Not the asshole. You might want to start looking for a new job. Your boss seems to be the type to have an attitude the beatings will continue until morale improves. He may end up firing you to nip it in the bud and set the other employees straight. OP. Oh, that's the thing. I love this job. It's a good one, and one of the few that still has a union. He wouldn't be able to terminate me unless I actually did something crazy or consistently didn't meet my matrix. Yeah, no, I don't think you're being an asshole. I mean, if if all of the good things that you were doing were just getting overlooked by this guy and one, slight, maybe mishap, but everyone's not happy about it. He should be able to tell that everyone isn't happy about it. So, if someone venting to her would help them like kind of cope with the situation in a weird way, Like, okay, like they talk to her about it and then she goes, "Oh, well, it is what it is." And then they move on, kind of like she said earlier about what would happen. Then wouldn't that be the best thing for her to do, right? Like, I think the boss is just being a bit stuck up and I don't think she's the asshole here. But we're going to read the update. And when I say that, I mean we're going to do it like right now. Update. I hope I'm updating correctly. So a lot of people had asked for an update. I've waited a while, and after some movement/developments, there was an event that usually requires someone to head up the card, gift, staff coordination things. I had told the team and my boss several weeks in advance this event was pending and I wouldn't be free. No one did anything until the day before, and then one of them called me to ask that I do all the legwork. I declined, citing that I just did not have the time, which was/is kind of true. My higher ups cornered me on this a few days later, saying that I've been pulling away, teamwork makes the dream work, etc., and citing this event as evidence. They also cited me on being on my phone during unofficial mandatory fun time as further evidence of drawing back. I told them that I had given everyone, my boss included, weeks of notice that the event was coming up and I wouldn't be available to head it up. I pointed out that I'm still helping the team with tasks directly relevant to work, but with my current caseload, I just can't afford to allocate time to the social/event planning right now. As for the mandatory fun, I reminded them that I often don't get lunch breaks due to community meetings that get held at those hours and my having to flex out early on those days. So having to lose out on a good break on the day I don't have to is burning me out. They fumbled around for about 30 minutes trying to convince me, and I just held firm that with my current caseload, I don't have the time to allocate to non-essentials. I was told I'm allowed to prioritize my breaks. I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to attend the community meetings recently, and honestly, this might be another thing I end up cutting back on in the long run. Overall, it came across like they're panicked that I'm considering leaving. There was a comment about that concern, and I let them know I'm not planning on leaving, but I am taking time to restructure my priorities now that my caseload has increased. Maybe I'm just like too not locked in enough. Like I don't know enough about how the world works. Like I'm too young. That's what I was looking for. I might just be too young to understand this, but isn't this like the dream coworker? I mean, she literally does everything behind the scenes and she takes care of all these people in her job because she doesn't have anything better to do, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'll read this comment from her, which says, sorry. Commenter, how the hell are you achieving exceeds expectations? I have done everything extra, volunteered for additional tasks, etc. I just can't do it. OP, I am very detail oriented, organized, and efficient to a fault. A lot of stuff I do simply because I feel guilty for having free time at work. I could probably complete my entire job's function each week in like 20 hours if it was allowed that option. I've always been like this. I probably have some kind of disorder. I'm just as bad at home. My husband has told me that I complete more in the time between walking and getting to work than a lot of people manage in an entire day. Or sorry, waking and getting to work. The job I left for this one had to hire more than one person to replace me, but training was probably easy because I wrote a guide on what needed to be done daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually, and gave them my spreadsheets. I know if I reached out to that previous job, they snapped me up in an instant, but their pay and benefits are low key shit. So she's great at her job, or maybe her job just doesn't, require her to do that much. But I mean, from what I see, she's just like the perfect coworker. And then she does everything else because she has nothing better to do. And she could just like low key doom scroll on her phone instead, but she doesn't. Well, I mean, obviously she can't do that because she's at work. But you get the point, right? Like, oh my God, like these people are so stupid. And you know what? It's going to be a case of they don't see what they're missing out on until they're missing out on it. And that's what they're feeling right now. Because now they're like, it's the last minute and they're like, please, we need your help. And she's like, nope, fuck you. You are not getting my help. And I think that's awesome. But there's actually a couple more edits to this post that were made 2 and 4 months after they posted it. So I'm going to read those. Update or edit 1. Annual performance evaluation is in, and it's just a dismissal as the retaliatory one. I've declined signing it without discussion, and I've contacted my union. This feels like punitive retaliation. If they can't justify the decreases despite my consistent performance quality, I will be quiet quitting everything that's not a core job function, and continuing to do so will feel like chasing an unattainable metric. Edit 2. Nearly 2 months after the first edit. My union advised that technically the review is valid, as they're going by the letter of the set parameters, and my boss advised that since I meet my deadlines and quotas, it's valid. I have gone the route of quiet quitting. Nothing outside the minimum to meet expectations so my raises aren't impacted. I've called in sick on a few days there was non-mandatory but unspoken mandatory fun. I've ceased community outreach so that I'm not missing my breaks. Coworkers are aware there was just unjust retaliation. More changes have come that impact management. Boss is talking about a job with less of a commute. I know I'll be encouraged to apply for their position, and all I'm gonna do when that happens is laugh. So, I mean, the company just basically fucked themselves over and are ruining their perfect employee right here. I might be glazing her, but she better be the person she's hyping herself up to be. Or he, I don't know. because damn, they sound amazing to me. And I would snatch them up in a heartbeat if I was some other place that was looking for an employee. Anyways, that's all I have to say about this. I'm gonna stop glazing OP now. Let me know what you all think in the comments below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.